Hey everybody, it is Friday evening, August 7th maybe, I don't know. I got a message from Chase Snyder this week, and a question I've never been asked before. He was asking how I shoot, right? Everybody's familiar with instinctive shooting. Everybody's familiar with gap. We talk about gap instinctive all the time. I shoot a little different. And Chase reached out and he said, hey, I've never seen anybody shoot the way that you do, and you seem to be accurate. What are you doing? So I explained a little bit in text, and he asked if I could video. So we're gonna just talk about it here for a minute. This may take a few minutes, so bear with me. You're gonna find out what I do. I jokingly call it gap it and snap it. So I like to shoot heavier longbows and recurves. I always have. I like to shoot right around 60 pounds, right around 600 grains. And when I learned how to gap shoot right around 2000, I was watching the push. I learned how to gap shoot. I'd been instinctive up until then. And I started trying to do it. And it was very difficult for me to draw, hold, gap, and then release, right? And it was difficult for me because of the weight of the bow. And so I went back and forth on what I did. I went to a lighter bow, and ultimately I want to shoot the heaviest arrow I can with the most energy at the fastest speed. And it comes with a heavier bow. Like, I want to shoot a 600 grain arrow. If I drop down to 50 pounds, that arrow is going to be going out of our bows, let's say 150 feet a second. Maybe 155, 160, I don't know. I've seen them as low as 143 out of a longbow with a 48 to 49 pound longbow of ours with a 580 grain arrow. I've seen them in the low 140s. I want to shoot faster than that for that impact hunting. So I'm looking at, with the Mamba right here, right? I'm shooting the Mamba longbow at 60 pounds, 580 grain arrow, and it is shooting right at 165 to 168, depending on my form. That makes a difference. And with that heavier arrow, so the KE is better, the trajectories are the same across my bows. My fastest bow is Uncle Charlie, shoots 178 with the same arrow, but I like shooting a longbow. So here we go. We're going to talk about what I do and how do I gap it and snap it. So the first thing when people are watching me, and they'll miss it a lot of times, the first thing I'm doing is I did the CTS training online. I've done Joel Turner's training online. So the first thing I'm doing is I'm positioning my palm, and I use a standard rounded grip. It's just what I like. So I'm setting my palm. Before I do anything, the palm is set. The next thing you do is I'm gonna go ahead and get the sight picture that I want. The same as a gap shooter does once they're at full draw. I can't hold it that long to make those adjustments. So I'm gapping it on target with my arrow loaded, getting the sight picture that I want, right? So we're gonna pull a VPA broadhead out. I'm gonna load it up. And so what I do is I aim. That mule deer is down there at 20 yards. I'm gonna aim, and I'm gonna get my sight picture. Now, I know that I want the broadhead between the knee and the bottom of the brisket at this range with this bow and this arrow. So I'm going to, as I'm aiming before draw, I'm gonna set that, right? So I'm gonna set that position, and then I'm gonna slowly draw to anchor. So I've got my grip. I set my shoulder. You'll always see me do that. I get my grip, I look, set my shoulder, strong bow arm. I'll aim, I will draw, I will come to full anchor, and I'll say, here we go, and I'll let it fly, right? So where a standard CTS, Joel Turner is going to tell you, draw, gain your sight picture, collect your gap, hit full anchor, expand, here we go, the arrow's gone. I do it in a little different order, right? So I am setting my grip, collecting my sight picture, setting my shoulder, draw, anchor, expand, here we go. Make sense? Let's do it. And that's a dead deer. Chase, man, I hope that explains it for you. And I'm gonna put this on Instagram. It'll probably pop up on Facebook, and I'll throw it on my YouTube. Leave a comment, let me know what you think. I know it's not CTS, I know it's not 100% Joel, I know it's not the push. It's what I do, and I kill big deer every year. Hope that helps. See you later.